What is good, YouTube? Warstu here, and in this video I'm going to talk about everything that we know currently about the Batman 2021 movie, as they are starting to shoot it next month in UK, Pinewood Studio, London. We're technically just outside of London due to recent reports. So we know this movie is going to shoot next month in England, like we've just said, and the current release date is scheduled for June the 25th, 2021, which is very interesting, given the fact we know that Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn, with Black Canary, etc. comes out next year. Then we have Wonder Woman 1984, then we have the Batman movie, and then we have Black Adam, and then we have Shazam 2 and Aquaman 2, and maybe the Flash movie. So it's looking promising for the future of the DCEU after they messed it up with completely rechanging the Snyder Cut. So, according to productionweekly.com, which is a website where people can pay, it's a members website, and it basically gives you a long list of things that is going into production very, very soon. So in the most recent article for Production Weekly, it lists the Batman movie as The Batman. Now, that really doesn't indicate anything other than the fact is the Batman is how people tend to refer to Batman in the early days. So people of Gotham tend to refer to the protege early on when he's very unfamiliar and misunderstood and presented in a city plagued with corruption and crime. He was simply called the Bat, which is interesting. So the Batman really doesn't give any indication to anything, although it could be a coincidence maybe that it shares a similar title to a 2004 animation series. It realistically doesn't give us any details. Now, people are already starting to ask questions about when is the first trailer going to be viable. Now, this is an official trailer, and I might actually overlay it, but a YouTube channel called Smasher has put a trailer together of Robert Pattinson, etc. in this trailer where it actually looks pretty legit. But realistically, they've not even started shooting the movie yet. They're going to start shooting the movie next month. So I would say expect a trailer, San Diego Comic-Con 2020. We know that Matt Reeves has said he's taken the entire team and himself to CCXP 2020 in Brazil. So we will be getting some footage there, maybe. So it is very interesting in that retrospect. So we know Robert Pattinson is the main star of this movie. And we know that he's already been teasing what the suit's like, etc. Robert Pattinson beat out competition in Nicholas Hoult, who was in X-Men First Class. There were a lot of high-profile names for this role. Of course, your classical Armie Hammer, who has been linked to every single DC role for years. So we know Robert Pattinson is going to be the Batman, which is very interesting. It's a very interesting option. As we know, he's not exactly got the statue of a Batman, and there were recent reports from YouTube sensation Grace Randolph from Beyond the Trailer.com on either a website or a YouTube channel, I'm not really sure, but she was saying he was struggling to put weight on, and pictures can indicate this if you see him learning some kind of fighting style. I believe it's jiu-jitsu potentially, or Brazilian fighting, and he looked pretty skinny. But to be honest, guys, them images were back from November, so this is going to be a young variation of Bruce Wayne. So we're not expecting him to be the biggest person ever, because let's be honest, guys, if he's gone from being tiny to being stacked, then it's pretty obvious how he did it. So the plot for this movie, very little is known. I know, I've scoured Twitter, I've scoured the potential a source of a source, and realistically, no one knows. No one knows what this movie is about. It is reportedly going to be set in the 90s, when Bruce Wayne is very early on in his career. This could indicate that Patterson is playing a younger version of Ben Affleck's version for Batman vs. Superman, and it's established that the Waynes were murdered in 1981, meaning Bruce would have first suited up as Batman in early or mid-90s, so this is very possible. But it's interesting because they are still building up the DCEU with Aquaman, Shazam, The Flash. No DCEU movie has rebooted anything because Shazam set out the Justice League, Batman vs. Superman memorabilia. So the DCEU has not been rebooted at all. So We don't know what to even call DC movies. Do we call them DC Dark, DC Films? We don't know what to call them. So the Batman might be a complete reboot or just an extension of the past of what happened before we got to the Justice League variation or the Batman vs Superman variation of Ben Affleck. We don't know. Reeves indicated in 2019 that the movie is set in the DCEU, but as we said, guys, nothing is really known. Now, as we know, it will be a detective-based storyline, so they could include anyone really. Now, early rumors point to the fact that the Batman could feature up to 7 or 8 villains based on the current casting. Now, it does appear that we are going to have a Catwoman, Riddler, Penguin, Mad Hatter in this movie. Also, Nightwing potentially, we're hearing rumors. There's multiple reports suggesting that Batman is the start of a new trilogy for Reeves. Back in 2017, he has ideas for multiple Batman movies. I quote, I have ideas about an arc, he said back in 2017, but really the important thing is just to start. You have to just start one. So we don't have any quantifiable information that this is going to be a trilogy. We just know that it's going to be a good darn movie, and I believe it could be the greatest Batman movie ever if it's going to play out. So, in May 2019, Robert Pattinson was officially confirmed as the star of Batman, which is fantastic. Why? Because the trades were saying it before that, so the trades were right for once. Then in September, reports surfaced that Jonah Hill and Jeffrey Wright are in talks to star in the movie. Obviously, Jonah Hill didn't get the role, but Jeffrey Wright did. Okay? Reeves confirms Andy Skesky. I go and say his name right. I think that's quite funny. As Alfred. Yes, he is directing Venom 2, which is, interestingly enough, going to be shot in the same studio in London, which is very interesting. Now, Paul Dano as Riddler. I'm not really big knowledgeable guy of him, but he seems decent. Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. Zoe as Selena Kyle, which is very interesting. So, we have a lot of casting notices so far. So this is everything that we know so far about this movie. There's also been some more recent castings. In November, John Tatara as Kalman Falcone. The Falcone is going to be based in this movie, which that's a very interesting casting for this character. I never thought any of these cast members would actually be part of this movie. Now, there's an even more interesting casting for Harvey Dent, which yet again, I did not see this casting notice ever. I didn't think this would happen, but then again, I didn't think Robert Pattinson would be the next Batman either. So, Peter Skarsgård officially signs on to play a mysterious character that has been speculated to be Harvey Dent. But, as said with this article, nothing is confirmed. As far as we're aware, they have not confirmed who he is playing in said movie. So it's going to be very interesting. The Batman movie has a lot of questionable characters and questionable actors who are playing said characters. So it is interesting. So let me know, guys, down below. What do you think about the most recent castings for this movie? And what do you think the storyline is going to be? As we said in a video yesterday, we know that there will be some scenes in Arkham Asylum if it's the case of Batman or Bruce Wayne going to Arkham Asylum to try and get information out of the convicts, out of the villains, or if it's the case of him putting it in there, or if it's the case of them breaking out. It is going to be very interesting to find out what the plot for this movie actually is. So whilst editing this video, I came across some different information about the working title for the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. And this website's trying to make out that the movie is not called The Batman. They are working under the title of Vengeance, which the title of Vengeance could imply that Batman is trying to get vengeance for the death of his parents, maybe. We know we're not going to be getting a generic reboot or generic origin story because we know Matt Reeves is a pretty decent director. Everyone's seen Planet of the Apes. That was fantastic. So vengeance is a term highly associated with Batman, so it would be an obvious choice as a working title, you know, or justice, but Vengeance working titles don't really mean anything. Now, like I just said a few moments ago, there's several scenes in Arkham Asylum. The whole movie is not going to be evolving around Arkham Asylum, as was previously reported that the whole movie was going to be around Arkham Asylum. The whole movie was actually going to be taking place during Arkham Asylum. So not much is known about this movie at the moment. That's why I wanted to do this video, because I think this has a lot of potential to be one of the greatest movies, Batman-wise, if they can deliver. I mean, I don't really like the fact they keep swapping Batman around. Ben Affleck was pretty good Batman, but Robert Pattinson can act. I know if you haven't seen his most recent stuff post-Twilight, a lot of people will be nervous and I guess you could say skeptical about his acting ability. But if you've seen The Lighthouse or any other work that he's done post-Twilight, you got to remember Twilight for him was so long ago, 2010. It was nearly a decade ago. So he has developed as an actor and has played a lot of serious roles. He's got a lot of roles coming out. Tenant, The Devil, All the Time, The Stars at Noon, The Batman. So he's done a lot of work. He's been in The King, endless movies. So check out one of his most recent movies if you are quite skeptical of Robert Pattinson becoming the next Batman, because that's not going to change. So it is interesting. Like I said, we don't know much about this movie, but it does have the potential to be an epic movie if they deliver. And like I say, Matt Reeves is a very good director. I have faith in Matt Reeves. I do think the casting is a bit strange sometimes for some of the characters. Like, I think not getting Jonah Hill to play Penguin or the Riddler is going to be a massive loss. I think they should have tried to get Danny DeVito in this movie. I think that would have been amazing. But as we said, guys, we don't know the full casting list for this movie yet, as they've not started shooting. And generally what happens is once they start shooting, you will start hearing information about other actors in this movie. Vengeance is a famous line. I am vengeance. I am the night. I feel like both work, you know? It's a famous line in Batman, you know, Vengeance. It's all about vengeance. It's all angry. So what version are we going to be getting? It is interesting. And with Batman, it's really hard not to do the Batman well. So guys, let me know down below, what do you think about the title, the working title, the cast? Who would you put in? Do you think someone like Bane should be in? Because you know at the moment there's a lot of stories going around about Dave Bautista, the new Bane. Is he, isn't he? So it's going to be interesting. Are they going to oversaturate this movie with too many villains? It is interesting because now the Joker, the R-rated movie, did so darn well that Warner Bros. Has confidence to do other movies that necessarily they wouldn't have the confidence to do before. So it is going to be very interesting looking forward to what happens with a lot of different projects with DC. DC might even spurge Marvel on to make, you know, some R-rated movies themselves. You don't know. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and make sure you check out the Instagram at Warstu, and at the 100,000 subscriber marker, we'll be giving away a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X or a Switch. All you gotta do is subscribe to this channel and let me know down below why should I pick you. But obviously, guys, the faster we get there, the faster I can give the surprise away. I will be doing a lot of Batman videos as there is more information out, as I am really hyped for the next Batman projects. Like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you want to get in touch with me for business inquiries, just email me, warstubusiness@gmail.com, business inquiries only. Or if you want to get in touch with me, just hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.